Hello everyone. Today I will be doing a research activity regarding philosophical themes and questions with some guests. This will be made specifically regarding three topics. Number 1, reality. Number 2, truth, and finally, freedom. I will be asking a set of questions to both of my parents so I can hear their opinions, and then I will share my analysis and opinion on the answers they gave. Firstly, as you will see, I will be talking to my mother. She was born in Bogota in the 1970s and she has been a dentist for almost 20 years. The questions I will be asking are: what is real? Can you change reality? What is true? How can you be sure something is true? What is free? Is anyone ever really free? And how free is free enough? So here goes what we found. Hi, mother. I'm gonna ask you a few questions for a blog I'm doing for English class. Okay, so my first question is: what is real?
Para mí la realidad es algo que tú puedes palpar y tocar, conocer a través de los sentidos, del olfato, del gusto, de todos los cinco sentidos.
And can you maybe change reality?
Creo que no, creo que la realidad no se puede cambiar, es la que es y así existe.
What is true?
Para mí la verdad es algo que tú puedes comprobar a través de hechos.
And how can you be sure something is true? Like, how can you check those facts?
Eh, la verdad es algo que podemos experimentar a través de hechos, algo que se puede empíricamente lograr.
And, Mama, what is free?
Para mí la libertad es la forma responsable en que uno tiene que actuar en la sociedad. Eh, para ser libre tienes que realizar los actos de manera responsable pensando en los demás.
And mother, okay, mother. Now, is anyone really free?
Pienso que no, que los seres humanos no somos libres del todo. Tenemos que actuar de acuerdo a ciertos reglamentos que son necesarios para que la sociedad funcione de manera correcta y como un engranaje perfecto. Tenemos que pensar en todos y no en nosotros mismos para que haya libertad y para que podamos todos vivir de manera armónica y feliz.
And mother, how free is free enough?
Mm,
Yes.
Pienso que eres libre en la manera que puedas respetar a los demás, en la manera en que no afectemos a la sociedad. Somos libres en la manera en que podamos vivir de forma adecuada sin perder el concepto de sociedad. Porque sin sociedad, sin una sociedad organizada, pues no podemos vivir libremente, ni tranquilos, ni felices.
Okay, mother, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now that we're finished, we can see that her answers are very interesting. I mean, taking into account that she's not very interested like in philosophy and that kind of stuff. So what can we see? We can see that my mother has a very empiricist opinion, which is normal regarding she's after all, a dentist that has studied medicine for most of her life. I agree with her on an empiricist position when it comes to reality. It is not that I believe that it's not that I believe that if it hasn't been proven by our senses or tested in order to be true, then immediately like it doesn't exist. Uh, my agreeableness with my mother is the idea that I can assume something is real just because I thought so. I don't agree with that. There has to be a filter or at least a parameter as to decide how much is real or believable. And there is, at least in the present, no better like epistemology than factual science and empiricism. Of course, like science has its flaws, but it is what has given us like the most trustable knowledge up to this point. And knowledge, this is knowledge that has changed our lives and improved it to a point that we once thought that it was unimaginable. To like regarding her answer to the freedom question, I agree too. Freedom is the ability to choose and be responsible in your own environment, and this has a limit. We are not free in a complete way. We still have to follow certain rules or codes, and the purpose being is to protect others. Because there is no us without them or they. Uh, and I don't mean just serious regulations such as you are not allowed to kill somebody, and that's too serious. I also mean like importance in social codes. Like, for example, the famous teaching, you are not allowed to eat with your mouth open. Like this code may sound useless, but it's really to avoid making someone else uncomfortable by saying you chew your food or to spill food on yourself or others, which can be repulsive to some, and they may lose their appetite or something like that. Or maybe another code that can be important, like leave your knife on the side when you are done cutting your steak and pick it up when you need to use it again. Like, this may sound very silly, and I remember when I was a kid, I used to get very angry when my father told me to do this. But this one could be, for example, so you don't take someone's eye out moving your hand with a knife in it. And now, like, these are silly examples, but my point is that there are codes and rules we follow. But most of them, at least, were created for a reason, and they weren't just made to make us like angry or annoyed. uh, they had a reason, and I will connect with the last answer she gave, which is how much freedom is enough. Freedom is just enough when your actions are not affecting others around you. I do believe rules are important. I do believe social rules too. If we were to change the rules, we will have to analyze which rules do not apply anymore in our society, and which ones still do and have relevance. So I will say I agree with a more conservative point of view when it comes to rules and social codes, and yeah, the disciplinary society, one will say. Now, I was planning on interviewing someone else, but sadly, I'm not in the city where my brother is, and my father works until a very late hour. So I was only able to come up with one of the interviews I had planned, which was my mother's. So yeah.